the young dudes by MsKingBean89, Chapter 73, 5th year, Silver. Monday, 1st September 1975.
Hey, mama said the way you move gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove. The way you shake that thing gonna make you burn, gonna make you stay. Hey, baby, when you walk that way, watch honey drip, can't keep away.
Remus shifted comfortably as he waited for a quiet moment to run at the ticket barrier. He was glad Matron hadn't come with him this year. He had to have the time alone to prepare himself. Grant had wanted to come, but Matron said no, and wouldn't give him the fare anyway. They had managed a quick goodbye locked inside a bathroom in St. Edmunds, one of their many hiding places. Neither of them had said any of the things they actually wanted to say. Actually, they'd hardly spoken at all, but with minutes left, Remus promised he'd try to write. "I'm crap at writing," Greg complained. "Can't you give me the phone number?" It's a really old-fashioned skill. We don't really get to use the phone much," Remus blagged. He thought there might be a phone box in Hogsmeade, or maybe the next village over, which was non-magical. He could try. Now, as he took aim at the grey ticket barrier and started forward, he had that usual sensation of leaving the Muggle world, and everyone in it, behind for another year. Grant did not exist on that side of the platform. Grant had never happened, and Remus was the same old Remus. Nothing has changed, he told himself. Nothing is different. Matron hadn't insisted he cut his hair this time, so he wasn't beginning the term looking like an orc. He was taller, again. He wondered if he'd ever stop growing sometimes. But other than these silly superficial things, everything was as it had been, as it should be. No one would notice, because there was nothing to notice, Remus told himself firmly. Nothing at all. He rubbed the back of his head, absent-mindedly, then remembered Grant's fingers having been there only hours before, wiped his lips self-consciously. Shit. "All right, you tosser?" James slapped him on the back, out of nowhere. "James, really?" Mrs. Potter chastised her son, standing beside him. She beamed up at Remus. "Just look at you! You've grown inches!" She pulled him into a hug. "Still far too skinny for my liking." She began to straighten his clothes, peppering him with questions. Did he have something to eat for the journey? Had he come alone? Did he want help getting his things on board? By the end of this motherly assault, Remus was grinning from ear to ear, relaxed with the knowledge that everything was, indeed, fine. Nothing was different at all. He cheerfully boarded the train with James and Peter, chatting about their summers and the excitement for the year ahead. James had a silver pin on his chest, emblazoned with a large C. Remus could smell it the second James came close, an irritating sting in his nostrils. He had got his dearest wish and was now Quidditch captain. They sat in their usual compartment, and Remus pulled his book from his bag, settling in with a satisfied sigh. Then Sirius walked in, and Remus's stomach almost dropped to the floor. He was almost the same as ever. Height-wise, he had nearly caught up with James now, and he was broader about the chest. His jaw squared, and perhaps his nose had lengthened, but he had the same glossy black hair and the same arresting eyes and high cheekbones. He was still Sirius, but he was somehow other, as if Remus was seeing him through new eyes. The heat of desire flared up in his chest out of nowhere, settling in his cheeks as heavy as blush. He looked away quickly, before anyone noticed. "Gentlemen," Sirius nodded graciously, entering the carriage like a prince. "All right," the other two grinned, and Remus mumbled. Sirius sat directly opposite Remus, his hair and uniform purposefully untidy, no doubt for the benefit of Walpurga Black, and flung out his legs as if he didn't expect them to be as long as they were. His ankle bumped against Remus's, and Remus shot up, suddenly, sitting bolt upright and tucking in his own gangly legs neatly under the seat. Sirius gave him a funny look, then a smirking grin, which caused a sharp tug behind Remus's navel. "Oh, God," he thought. "No, no, no!" "Half expected you not to be here," James said, relieved. "Couldn't have the black hair not turning up for his first day of school." Sirius rolled his dark blue eyes. raising an artful eyebrow. Couldn't have the whole wizarding world knowing that there's a strife in my noble family. How are you? James asked earnestly. How are you? Fine, Sirius nodded, a bit stiffly. Don't want to talk about it now. Can we just pretend it's a normal first day? Yeah, all right, mate, James nodded, unconvincingly. Pete was just telling us about California. We didn't manage to find Phil, Pete said. My housemate said she'd moved on. Everywhere we looked. Mum she was really upset. It was crap. Remus felt a stab of guilt. It was so long ago now, but he had once told Philomena that she could run away if she wanted to. No one says you have to use magic. After his own, blissfully simple magic-free summer, Remus was starting to envy Peter's sister. The train had pulled out of the station, and the grey London buildings were whooshing by, soon to give way to the lush green fields of the home counties. How was your summer, Mooney? James asked, suddenly, and Remus realised Peter had stopped talking some time ago. Yeah, fine. Remus had practised this in his head on the way to King's Cross, but he hadn't counted on Sirius looking so... It was difficult to stay focused. Usual, nothing excited. Football, homework. Yeah, fine. Not great, but... Well, fine. Not bad. Fine. Thankfully, the door to their carriage slid open, putting a stop to his blabbering. Lily Evans stood in the doorway, beaming with delight, a rare fiery halo. Evans, James boomed, eagerly. You found me. As if it's hard, Potter. Lily rolled her eyes. You lot are always in the same car. Anyway, I'm not here for you. I'm here for you, she pointed at Remus, still grinning. Me? Remus frowned, confused for a moment. Then it dawned on him. He sighed heavily, wanting to sink into his chair and disappear. The three other marauders and Lily were all staring at him, with varying expressions, all expectant. You got it, didn't you? Lily said, impatiently. Come on, we have to go for a meeting in the... Merlin! Sirius suddenly exclaimed, slapping his forehead comically. How did we forget? Mooney, are you our prefect? James yelled. Remus hung his head. Yeah. And you didn't tell us immediately so that we could rip the piss out of you? Sirius's face had lit up, some of the old 11-year-old mischief maker shone through. You're just jealous, Lily said, haughtily. Come on, Remus. Where's your badge? The badge? Sirius burst out laughing. I forgot about the badge. Oh, please, Mooney, show us the badge. Peter on James's shoulders was shaking too, and Remus shook his head, trying to look disapproving. It's in my trunk. Put it on, Lily said. Come on, we have our own carriage and everything. Hey, Evans, I'm Quidditch captain, you know. Yes, Marlene said, Lily said, without so much as glancing in James's direction. Come on, Remus. Ugh, okay. The badge is right in the bottom of the trunk. I'll wear it tomorrow, Remus said, getting up. Oh, no. We can look for it if you want. Nah, can't be bothered, Remus shrugged, not looking at her. Oh, go on, Sirius wheedled, getting up and reaching for Remus's trunk. We want to see you in your nice, shiny badge. No, Remus snapped, glaring at Sirius. Thank goodness it was still easy to get annoyed with him. He raised his eyebrows so Lily couldn't see, and very pointedly said, Silver isn't my colour. Sirius's eyes widened immediately in realisation. Remus raised his eyebrows and followed Lily out. He glanced back through the glass door just in time to see James quickly removing his own pin. Being a prefect was as bad as Remus had expected. The letter had come as much as a surprise to him as to everyone else. The pin fell out of his usual Hogwarts reading list and onto his lap one summer morning. He hissed with pain as the silver burned through his fingers and dropped it on the floor. Grant picked it up. What the bloody hell was this? I'm a prefect, Remus said, not believing it himself. What? Jesus, sometimes I think I've made you up. You don't know the half of it, Remus groaned. My friends are never going to let me live this down. Good, Grant stuck out his pink tongue. Remus just shook his head again and resolved to write a letter to Dumbledore about this, demanding that someone else would be given the job. James would be good. Even Peter would be better than Remus. Dumbledore had not responded. He tried McGonagall, who did respond, simply saying that the decision was final. Remus decided to try again once term started. On the train, Lily and Remus had to attend an extremely tiresome meeting with all the other prefects, led by the intermittently boring Ed Boy and Gil. After that, they were expected to patrol the corridors, stopping anyone from having fun. Unfortunately, Lily took this duty very seriously, and Remus got the feeling it was going to be a very long year. Still, it was much preferable to sit in an unconfined space with Sirius. He would have to do his best to steer clear for a while, until he'd worked out this latest revelation. The feast was okay. It felt less merry than previous years. Remus didn't know if that was his own turmoil, or the pillow of the wall. There were less students than usual, only a handful of first years. No one was mentioning it. After dinner, Lily made Remus patrol again, and he actually didn't mind. He hoped that if he could stay away long enough, the others would be in bed, and then he wouldn't have to see them until the lessons the next morning, if James and Sirius left early for Quidditch practice. "You're still not wearing your pin," Lily said, as they walked the length of the 4th floor hall. "Yeah, sorry," Remus yawned. "I'll find it tomorrow, promise." "So, how was summer?" "Yeah, great," Remus grinned, wider than he meant to. Lily smiled back at him, looking genuinely pleased. "Oh, that's lovely. What did you do?" Oh, nothing. Loads of homework." "Weirdo," Lily elbowed him, laughing. "Even I don't like homework that much." He was right. By the time he got back to the common room, everyone had gone to bed, and the Marauder's bedroom was dark and quiet. He padded quietly to the bathroom, brushed his teeth, and pulled on his pyjamas, then crept over to his bed, drawing the curtains tight. It felt as though he had only just relaxed properly when he heard Sirius get out of bed. He knew each of his roommates by their footsteps now. He used to like knowing it. Now it felt like a peculiar kind of torture, as Sirius drew closer and hissed. "Moony, psst, oi, even you don't fall asleep that easily." Remus groaned, crawled to the edge of the bed, and opened the curtains. "What? Oh, come on. Why are you avoiding us? Is it the prefect thing? You know we're just teasing. Line up. Here, I've got something for you." He opened his hand. In the dark, Remus leaned over and saw his red and silver prefect pin. He frowned. "Is this a joke?" "No, take it. Trust me, Remus." Sirius caught his eye, and Remus's mind went completely blank. He accepted the pin, waited, and felt nothing. He blinked and looked down. "What?" "Transfigured it," Sirius smiled, looking thrilled. His teeth gleamed in the dark. "It's tin now. Did the same to James's. I reckon I can get Mary to pinch Evans's chew, and I'll do that. You'll be spending loads of time with her, so might as well." "Thank you." "Don't be silly," Sirius shook his head, still smiling, eyes soft. "Anything for our Moony. Good night." He turned and crept back to his own bed. Remus fell back onto his pillows, exhaling heavily, still clutching the pin so tight it bit into his palm. He flung the covers over his head and willed his heart to stop pounding. "Oh, God," he thought grimly. "I fancy Sirius Black."